Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. Today we're going to be looking at this everyday carry flashlight. It comes from a company called Lumintop. This particular model is the Tool AAA, and yes, I have this imported. Alright, so here we have the box. As you can tell, judging by my thumb there, you can tell it's a very thin box, and also quite small, even this way. But again, the item is small, so no problem there. Now, the front, just much to see, just basically down to business, what it is and who it comes from. Alright, looking here, we have, again, who it comes from in the particular model, and this also serves as a seal. We'll go up to the bottom in a bit. I just want to show you the side. Nothing there. Up here, apparently here are the options you can check. So if you're actually putting these on the shelf, you know what one to grab for your customer. Okay. And then that's that. So let's go to the back now. There you are. You can see where I imported it from. Yep. And they actually apparently do have a telephone you can call, so an email, and even go to the website. So there's contact info if you are interested. And to make it even easier, you do have your QR codes there. Okay. And a promise that they'll reply within 24 hours. Okay, great. Coming down here, you can see their certifications, and by the way, the seal also shows off one of their certs, ISO there, and yes, it is made in China. Okay, so that's that for the box. Alright, so overall impressions of the packaging, we do have a pretty bland box. On the back, it just wants to tell you basically go to a website and to look at what this thing can do, because apparently we can't use any of this real estate here to write down any features because of reasons. Yeah. And this, I mean, I guess it seems to be more to help someone who's just picking these off the shelf. I mean, more like a employee, like get me 2 of the Crees in the black color, you know, and they just grab 2, right? So yeah, I'm thinking this is just for efficiency, and you know what you bought, so you don't have to be sold. Just give me 4 of those and 2 of that. Alright, so to open it, I just go ahead and peel back this QC sticker. There we are. So we have our instructions. Flashlight. Diffuser. And that's the keychain attachment. And in here we have some extra O-rings. Okay, so let's take a look at each of these close up. Okay, so here's the instructions with their cute little bunny mascot. And you know what? Let's play a little game here. Does anybody know what particular little bunny this is? I'll probably post it in the comments what I think who this little dude is here. Anyway, so going on, so here it is, the instructions. Looks like we have multiple languages. Opening it up. Oh, let me zoom. There we go. So yeah, it is in multiple languages. There's English. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, you know what? Here, you can look at that. Got some specs there. Battery usage. Forbidden. Yeah, so it did state earlier that you can't use the 10440 battery in here. So that's good to know. Okay, and let's look on this side. Okay, so there are some pictures. Yeah. Okay, anyway, let's go to the next part. So here's the keychain attachment. It's all metal. Okay, that's stiff. That's a stiff spring right there. Good, so it won't accidentally open. Yep. And yeah, so this looks pretty good quality. Alright, let's look at the next thing. Alright, so here's the diffuser. So if you don't know how these work, basically you take the flashlight, you put this over the head of the flashlight, and when you turn on the flashlight, instead of it shooting out a beam, it lights this up and it scatters the light in all directions. and it makes the flashlight basically a lantern. And we will go ahead and obviously test this out, but I believe that this has an extra little feature, a little ability that this thing can do, and we'll show you that later. So, but anyways, so here is the diffuser, and yes, it is squishy, so yep, but it springs back to its normal shape, so that's good. Alright, next, here are those O-rings. Just wanted to show you. Yep, and you get two of them. And I'm going to leave those in here because I'm pretty sure these are replacements. So, and here is the item itself. So, Lumintop, tool AAA. You notice that lens, instead of it just being clear, it seems to have kind of little, what do you call them, facets in there. Kind of makes it look like a honeycomb pattern, kind of. Anyway, also this ring in here, you can see it kind of looks like a greenish color. I do believe this is, it lights up after you've turned on the light. Then it retains like a glow, kind of like a halo, which is very cool. But it also has a function. So should you drop the light after like you've turned it off and then you drop it, there's a chance you might be able to see this glow laying on the ground. Helps you recover it. Alright, so you can see the knurling here, and I'm going to take a real close-up look. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but let me just check something. Okay, yeah. So inside each one of these diamonds of knurling, it's also, I guess, siped. So essentially inside the diamond itself, which is already traction, each diamond has further little fine cuts in it to give you even more grip. Okay, now here, this pocket clip, it's reversible, so you can see how you can take it off. It's open here, see, and then you can go ahead and put it on this side, so you can have this facing that way if you want. So it depends on how you like to carry, but that is an option. Okay, then here we have more of that knurling, then on the back. Again, knurling, and then here is the button. Yeah, there you go. You're not going to miss that button, are you? Yep, and there are little holes on either side. I suppose you might be able to attach a lanyard in there if you wanted to. It is kind of tight though, so maybe not. But anyway, those are there. And let's go ahead. There's obviously no battery inside, so I'll just go do a click. Oh, the back of the button is textured. By the way, this clicky switch here is, yeah, so this is a silicone or rubber, okay, and the back does have a little knurling on it itself, so, and there is actually a little bit of grip there, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and just do, I guess, try test click. Yeah, so it's very good feedback. You know exactly that you pushed it. Not only obviously you could hear it, but you can also feel it. Yeah, so there's a very good engagement on that. It's a pretty good switch actually. Alright, so now let me go ahead and quickly take it apart. Okay, so here's the tail cap. There, spring nice and centered. Okay, moving over. You can see where it connects to the back of the flashlight. You'll also notice there are O-rings on there. You can kind of see it there. Kind of that clearish. Yep, so the O-rings did come installed, so that other set is in fact backup or spares. You can see right down the nice smooth surface for the body. Another O-ring on the front. Now we'll go look at the actual head of the unit here. So there's that, and then again the front. You can really see that texturing or whatever, faceting on the lens there, and kind of trying to give you a good shot of the LED through all that distortion that those facets make, but I think you can see it there. Here's the battery we'll be using. It's a Duracell Optimum. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the diffuser here. So as you saw earlier, this is the diffuser. Notice it's made out of some nice silicone-like material, so it is not a cheap plastic cap that could easily fall on the floor, step on it, and crack. So there's that extra durability, and plus it's kind of fun to squish it like that. Anyway, so to put it on, it's pretty straightforward. You take your tool, AAA, Lumintop flashlight, and go ahead and just slip the diffuser right over the end. It holds on nicely, partly because it's made out of that silicone, so it kind of grips on its own. And also remember there are these little grip, what do you call them, knurling here, so I'm assuming that also helps hold on the diffuser. And you can see it holds on nice and tight. Does not come off unless you pull it off. And so let's go ahead and test it out. I'll go ahead and turn off the lights and turn on the flashlight. And boom, there we go. So you can see the diffuser is doing a great job. It is plenty bright, but at the same time it does do enough of the diffusing so that even if you can see the camera sensor, although it still looks really bright, but of course it's not overwhelming the sensor, so that shows you that it's bright, but at the same time usable. And you could, like, I don't know, set this up as like a lamp inside your tent or whatever. But there's also another cool feature with this diffuser, and to see what that is, as soon as you turn off the light, yes, the diffuser is glow in the dark. So if you're using it as a lamp and then you need to use it as a flashlight again, and you take this off in a hurry and it drops on the floor of your tent or maybe on the trail, it'll be very easy to find. Even without using the flashlight, you can just look down, find the glowing green thing. Again, very clever. I've seen this on other Lumintop products, but yeah, it's always cool every time I do it. So, all right. I have an update regarding passive battery drain. So, in case you don't know what that is, that's if you leave a battery in a device, does it drain the battery all on its own? Even without you using it, does it just drain the battery? So I'm happy to report that I have had that Duracell Quantum battery that you've seen earlier in the video. I've had it in this flashlight, and I've only used this flashlight for what you've seen me do in this video as far as the tests. So I haven't been using it for just daily use. But I have been carrying it with me, and it's now been 13 days later, and I'm happy to report this battery is still coming up as 1.64 volts. So that's good. Keep in mind the operating voltage of the battery is 1.5 volts. 1.64 volts means it's obviously better, and that's a sign of a fresh battery. Batteries usually, if they're a good brand, they usually ship with over 1.5. So that way you can use it, and even after you've used it for a while, the battery still has enough to perform. So that fact that it still has 1.64 means the battery's still fresh, and I am aware that might be partly or mainly due to the battery, being that Duracell Quantum battery, but even so, I still think it's worth mentioning this device did not drain the battery, so that's good. Alright, so I thought I'd take the chance here to go ahead and compare this flashlight against two other flashlights that both use a single AAA battery and are LED. Alright, so, and this here is just a 16mm D6, so a dice. I just put that there so you can kind of get an idea of size. Okay, so the first one we're going to compare this light to is this. I actually did a review on this light already. This is the True Utility, and you can see, I'll line them up, so there you go. Okay, so you can see that the True Utility is slightly smaller, but you also lose the clicky switch in order to gain this keychain attachment, and it also makes the flashlight shorter overall. However, giving up the clicky switch, you have to do a twist to operate. So you have to twist this to turn it on. Not as easy to do in the dark, and also not as instinctual. You have to twist, as where you just hit a button. So now going on to the slightly larger side, and again larger compared to this, you have this one here. Let's try to line them up. Alright, good enough. Alright, you can see that one is a bit longer. Now this one, if you ask what brand it is, I'm going to say it kind of doesn't matter. And the reason I'm saying that is because this is the generic flashlight you'll get if you go shop on that popular online commerce site. It starts with an A, and say AAA flashlight, you'll probably end up seeing one of these. And they usually come like in a bulk pack, like 5 or whatever. And they are a good light. I'm not going to say that they're junk, but they're quality-wise, they're nothing compared to this. But if this is all you can get, I definitely still recommend those. But that just gives you kind of an idea of other flashlights in this segment, I guess you could say. Alright, so what I wanted to show you here is kind of under the day-to-day practicality of this flashlight. So I have my dress shirt here, one of my dress shirts, and it's just hanging in free space, right? Obviously nobody inside. Okay, and even with that, so this being as floppy as it's ever going to be, because there's no body inside pushing out to give it structure, it's just hanging. But even with that, this flashlight is so light that you can clip it to the breast pocket of a dress shirt, and it doesn't cause the whole pocket to sag forward. I would still recommend wearing it on either end of the pocket, so close to the stitching, but again, it still holds upright, and that's something. Bigger flashlights can't do this, or even if they can, it looks really awkward. But this doesn't look bad at all. It kind of just looks like a fatter pen. Alright, so before we get to the conclusion, I just want to go over a quick disclaimer, and that's regarding my use of this item. And that is to say that the sum total of my using this item so far is basically what you saw in this video and what I needed to do to make this video. Now, I did carry this for over a week and a half in my pants pocket, and it worked great. However, I did not abuse the item. I did not throw it down. I did not drop it in a puddle and let it sit there for an hour, or any of the other things you may think might happen with a tactical flashlight such as this. I have not abused it, so I cannot tell you just how much abuse it can take and come out the end as a functioning flashlight. But what I can tell you is from what I can feel, what I've seen, and testing its functions, it's done what it needs to do every time. So I'm just going to take that it seems to be pretty well built, and yeah, you'll just have to take it for what it's worth. But yeah, it does look like a pretty robust unit. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the conclusion. Would I recommend this device? Easily, yes. I really can't think how you're going to get more flashlight for the price and for the power source being a single AAA battery. You get a lot of power. It's easily swappable. You don't have to go going back to an outlet to recharge. Some of these flashlights have a plug-in, a micro USB or maybe a Type-C USB plug. That's great, but you have to be near somewhere you can recharge. Here, you just put another AAA battery in it and screw it closed. It's that simple. And of course, AAA batteries are really easy to source, so you don't have to worry about finding some, expensive and hard to locate battery, such as some of the special lithium-ion cells. Not here. Simple AAA battery will work. Recommend you do alkaline or above, but yes, a simple AAA battery will work. All right, and also let's talk about its size. It's so small, there is no way you're going to get away with saying, "Oh, I just couldn't carry a flashlight. I didn't have room." If I can point to this, I can point out that that's a line of BS. You saw I put this on a dress shirt breast pocket, and I mean that's I'm sure you can find even more robust places to put this, and yeah, so it seems to be all wins with this, and yeah, the price is also quite good. At the time of filming this, you can get this for under $20. All right, so I'll keep using this. It's working so great so far.